Hello, baseball fans. Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and our high school football season is over, at least for us, since we did not make the playoffs. So, time to get back into some content on the channel and also discuss Glory Days Boxing, which I will do in a follow-up video to this. However, first of all, back to the Fergie Jenkins 1969 payoff pitch replay. And we are up to start number 28 for Fergie. In today's action, the Giants will be visiting Wrigley to take on the Cubs. And Bobby Bolin on the hill for the Giants will face Fergie Jenkins. So thus far, real life versus replay at this stage in real life in 1969. Fergie was 13-9, a 2.92 ERA, 200 innings pitched, 176 hits, 43 walks, 174 Ks, and had given up 18 home runs. In the replay, he is 17-6, has a 2.01 ERA, was off to a stellar start early in this replay, had an ERA under 2 for a stretch of, I believe, 10-12 starts. He's pitched 215 1/3, given up 157 hits, 30 walks, 181 strikeouts, and 12 long balls. And overall, in real life, in Fergie's starts at this point, the Cubbies were 16-11, and in the replay, they are a stellar 19-8 in games in which Jenkins starts. The real-life game played 7/27/1969, saw the Cubs come out on top, 12-3. So as we get ready to go, our starting lineups for the Giants: Dave Marshall leads off in left field. Don Mason will be at second. Bobby Bonds in center, Willie Mac at first, bats cleanup. Dick Dietz behind the plate. Ken Henderson right. Tito Fuentes at third. Hal Lanier at short. Bobby Bolin again on the mound. And for the Cubbies, a lineup you're familiar with. Don Kessinger leads off at short, followed by Glenn Beckert at second. Sweet swinging Billy Williams is in right. Ron Santo at the hot corner. Ernie Banks, Mr. Cub at first. Randy Hundley behind the dish. Willie Smith gets a start in left field today, and Jim Qualls in center, and of course Fergie on the mound. So without further ado, Marshall is in the box. Umpire shouts play ball, and we are off. So right away it is going to be in play for Jenkins, and 37 against the right-hander, and that is going to be a pop fly into foul ground. Santo goes over, makes the play, one away. Up next, left-handed hitting Don Mason for the Giants, and 2 tough, and Fergie kicks, fires, swing and a miss, struck him out. Mason back to the bench, a wicked slider over the outside corner of the plate. 2 quick outs for Bobby Bonds, and once again tough, 47 Bonds, and Bonds, a big cut, nothing but air. Fergie strikes out 2 of 3 in the first, and we go to the bottom of the inning. 3 up, 3 down, go the Giants, and Cubbies coming to the dish. And Bobby Bolin has completed his warm-ups. Don Kessinger, a notorious cigarette smoker. Back in the day when athletes were not adverse to smoking even in the dugout during games. Earl Weaver, of course, notorious for that, as was Jim Leland as managers. So 9, Bobby Bolin is going to be a ballpark result. And 23, and that is going to be Wheelhouse. Kessinger leading off the game, takes a big cut against the right-hander, swings, drives, and it is far and gone over the left field wall. Don Kessinger, a leadoff home run, and Cubbies off to a great start in this one, as Fergie looking to pick up win number 18 in our replay. That brings up Glenn Beckert. Crowd just settling into their seats is still cheering as Kessinger pokes out of the dugout and doffs his cap to the crowd. And again, another ballpark 26 and another Wheelhouse result. Bolin leading it up. Beckert swings, and that is going to be a harmless fly ball to center field. And coming in to take that will be a Bobby Bonds, so 1 away. Catcher goes out to talk to Bolin, tells him to get the ball down. Sweet swinging Billy Williams steps in, And that's going to be in play. And Williams, he drives that into the gap in right center, and he's going to end up at second base with a one-out double. So the Cubbies have the sticks working early in this one, and Fergie usually doesn't need a lot of run support. 7 going to be in play, and 39 to Santo, and that is going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher. And 7 within both players' double play ratings. Actually, runner on second, never mind. He's going to hold, so 1-3 on the put out. Bolin realizes there's no runner on first and whips it over to McCovey, 2 down. And stepping in now is Mr. Cubby, Ernie Banks. And that is going to be tough, and Ernie Banks drives that into the outfield, and coming in to take that will be Bonds. So Cubs are retired, but they get a run on the leadoff home run by Don Kessinger. Head to the second inning, 1-0. Cubbies in the lead. Fergie Jenkins to Willie McCovey, and that is going to be a defensive check. And again, with those, I use the fast action cards. All right, so defense check, and it's been a while, so I might be a little rusty early getting into this. Defense check is going to be a range check on the right fielder. And in right field for the Cubbies, range of D is Billy Williams. And 58, and he is just going to get to that, runs that down. So 1 away, and up comes Dick Dietz. Fergie winds up the pitch, and ballpark result for Fergie, and that's going to be wheelhouse. Dick Dietz, a big rip, and Dietz has tied the game, drives that over the left field wall, wind blowing out. A solo home run, 1-1, as the Cubby fans throw that offering back onto the field and boo accordingly, not for Fergie, but for Dietz. Ken Henderson, the batter now. And 7, that's going to be an in-play result, and Henderson drives that back up the middle for a single. So after McCovey is retired, a home run and a single brings up Tito Fuentes, and the Giants' third baseman digs in, and another ballpark result and another wheelhouse result. Fuentes, not a power hitter, however. He takes his best shot, and that is going to be a single, and again using the fast action cards. That will be a sharp liner. It drops in front of the left fielder, and runner on first advances a single base. So third hit of the day for the Giants. Runners on first and second, still only 1 out. Hal Lanier steps up. Jenkins collects himself, and tough blows that by Lanier, a high strike. He can't keep up with that, and 2 down on the strikeout. And that's going to bring up the pitcher, Bobby Bolin. And I was slacking there, didn't have his pitcher's hitting card ready. Told you I was rusty. So Bolin now, first and second, 2 outs, and he's going to have to hit away and hope for something good. 4 is going to be ballpark, 93, however, will be in play. And Bolin, 48, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Santo, and he takes care of it. So side is retired. 3 hits so for the Giants, and they get a run to tie the score. We head to the bottom of the second inning, 1-1, and Randy Hundley set to lead it off for the hometown Cubbies. And Hundley, that is going to be in play, and that'll be a ground ball down to third base. 5-3 on the putout as Fuentes takes care of Hundley. Brings up Louis Smith, Cubby's left fielder today. Left-handed hitting Smith against Bolin. And 5, that's going to be tough, and no match for that high heat as he goes down swinging a big cut. Not even close to that. Jim Qualls the batter. 2 outs, and Fergie awaits on deck. Here comes a pitch from Bolin. 5 going to be tough and not going to be a strikeout. Instead, that will be a fly ball to shallow center field. And Bonds, busy early in this one, comes in to take care of that. His third put out of the day. We head to the top of the third. Still tied at 1 apiece. So Fergie, that is going to be in play, and Dave Marshall is going to loop that over the second baseman's head into right field, and he has a leadoff single to start the third. Fergie, he had a rough start his first time out and has given up 4 hits now in 2 innings plus. And 6, going to be tough, 79, and that's going to be a fly ball to center field. So drifting to his left, Qualls takes care of that, puts Mason away, and the dangerous Bobby Bonds, who fanned his first time up, steps up. And 5, that's going to be patient, 66 for Bonds, and that is going to be a hit by pitch. So Fergie, hit batter, having a little trouble with command himself early in this one, and Willie Mac flew out to left his first time up, steps up. And 11, going to be another defensive check. And 0-8 is probably going to be a bad result. Defense, that is going to be an error check on the third baseman, and Santo is a 3. So 0-8 on the roll, and 3, and that is going to be an error. The error itself will be infield, a single base error. So the sacks are loaded now, and Fergie, courtesy of the E5, is once again in a little bit of trouble here in the third inning. Dick Dietz, and Dietz, who parked one into the bleachers his first at bat, steps up, and he has a chance to break this one open early. Here comes a pitch. It's patient. And 73, and Dietz is going to draw the walk. 74, sorry, still draws a walk, and that's going to force in a run. So Fergie uncharacteristically walks in a run. That's the second RBI of the day for Dietz, and Giants have now taken a 2-1 lead. Still only 1 out. Ken Henderson, the batter. Hundley comes out to talk to Fergie, back behind the dish, and that is going to be another defensive check. So this one is going to be another potential error, 56, and again, Santo is a 3, so 56, and he is going to make the play. 11, that is not going to be a double play, so runners are going to advance. The only play is to first base. So 5-3 on the putout for Henderson, and RBI as Bonds comes in to score. That should have been the third out, so that will be an unearned run. Runners on second, third now. And that brings up Tito Fuentes. Giants 3-1. Fuentes waits for the pitch. And that is going to be tough. 62, Fuentes, and grounds that down to second base. Kessinger takes care of that, and Fergie and the Cubs finally out of the inning. But the Giants plate 2 runs on the benefit of only a single hit, a big error. And we head to the bottom of the third inning. Giants with a 3-1 lead over Fergie and the Cubs here at Wrigley, and Fergie set to lead this off. Fergie having a decent year behind the plate. This is going to be patient and a good hitter, but not this time as Fergie grounds that down to shortstop. So 6-3 on the putout there, Lanier to McCovey, and back to the top of the order, Kessinger. Kessinger, he led off the game with a home run. The Cubs only run this far, still early of course. And 4 is going to be patient, 49, and Kessinger gets a single, drives that right back up the middle. So he is on. And thinking about stealing, looks for the sign, decides not to go. Beckert the batter. 7 going to be in play, and Beckert gets a hold of that and flies that to left field. Drifting in to take care of that is Dave Marshall. That makes it 2 down. Sweet swinging Billy Williams now, and he can tie this game with one swing of that mighty ash. Here comes the pitch, and it is ballpark, and it is wheelhouse 23 against the right-hander. Williams, a big cut, a deep drive, and it is gone. Out on the Waveland Avenue, a 2-run shot, and the Cubbies, fireworks in this one, have tied it back up 3-3. A 2-run HR puffin stuff for sweet swinging Billy Williams. The crowd is on their feet. Bolin kicks the mound in disgust as Ron Santo comes up. And 8, that is a 4. It's going to be tough. And 48, and Santo, he's going to actually fight that off for a single. So Bolin has been spotted the lead and could not hold it. Ernie Banks the batter. And it looks like the manager is on the phone to the San Francisco bullpen. It's going to be patient, and 68, Ernie Banks. And that will be a ground ball down to second base. So Don Mason takes care of Banks, and Bolin and the Giants are out of the inning. But the Cubbies, they strike back. 3 hits, 2 runs, a big 2-run blast by Billy Williams. And we are tied after 3 at 3, heading to the top of the 4th. Hal Lanier to face Fergie. And looking highly unlikely at this point that either pitcher gets out of this with a complete game. Here comes a pitch, and that's a ground ball down to Santo. Lanier's retired 5-3, 1 down. And Bobby Bolin, the batter now. Bolin, a decent hitting pitcher. Here comes a pitch from Fergie. Not this time, though. That slider buckles the knees. Dirty pool, says Bolin as he heads back to the dugout. Victim of a strikeout. That's the 4th for Fergie. Top of the order, Dave Marshall. He has singled and scored, popped out to third base. Here comes the pitch. And 5, that's going to be in the patient column. And again, Fergie has plunked his second batter of the game. Hit Bonds earlier, so trotting down to first goes Marshall. 2 outs, Fergie unfazed. Kicks and fires to Mason, and that will be another defensive check and another potential bad result for the Cubs. And this time, again, an error on the potential error on the third baseman, and a roll of 6, and that is going to be an error. And infield, a 2-base error at that. So second and third now, and Santos with his second error of the day. He apologizes to Fergie. Fergie stares at him, walks back silently to the hill. Says, thank you. You made me face Bobby Bonds with runners at second and third. Here comes a pitch. Tough. 86. And Bonds can't get it done. A ground ball down to short, and Kessinger whips out across the diamond. Fergie gets out of it. No harm, no foul. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still knotted up at 3 in this one. And Randy Hundley set to lead it off for the Cubbies. Bobby Ball on the pitch, and in play, 75 will be a fly ball to center field to Bonds, 1 down. The left-hander Willie Smith up, and Smith cannot hit lefties at all, but decent against righties. Here comes a pitch, tough. And 43 blows it by him. Bolin overpowers Smith. Second time he's gone down on strikes. Not even close again to that one. Jim Qualls up with 2 outs. Bolin has his wits about him again. 9, and that is going to be a ballpark, but again, that will be Wheelhouse, and Qualls, not a good power hitter against right-handers, however, gets into that and drives that into the corner. It rattles around, and slipping, trying to get to that in left field is Dave Marshall, and Qualls all the way around second, coming to third. Here comes a throw. He slides. He's safe. A 2-out triple for Qualls, and Fergie Jenkins now. A chance to give himself the lead, and he's done this several times during this replay. Bolin remembers what Fergie did to him last time. Kicks and fires, tough, and turnaround is fair play. A curveball buckles Fergie's knees, takes it looking, and down on strikes. So the Cubbies waste a 2-out triple, and we head to the top of the 5th inning. Tied at 3 in an exciting duel here. And Fergie set to face the meat of the Giants' order, starting first with Willie McCovey. Here comes a pitch, tough, and McCovey, 46, and that is going to be a ground ball down to Santo. This time he handles it flawlessly. Whips it across the diamond to Banks, 1 down. Dick Dietz up. Dietz has walked and homered, has 2 RBIs in this one. And 6 going to be tough, and a ground ball down to Kessinger. Candy hop for Don, whips it across to Ernie, 2 down, and Ken Henderson the batter. As Fergie once again seems to be back on course. 5 is going to be patient, and Henderson 47, and he's going to drive that right back up the middle between the wickets. And a 2-out single, so the Giants Trying to capture a little two-out lightning. Tito Fuentes. Fuentes against right-handers at 286 in 1969. Here comes a pitch, and it's in play, and Fuentes, ground ball down to second. Beckert has that. Easy hop, whips it over to Banks, and Giants are retired. One hit, no runs, no errors, one left as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. Both pitchers settling down a little bit here, 3-3. All tied up as Bolin set to face Kessinger, top of the order. And that is going to be an in-play result. And Kessinger ground ball down to shortstop, and Hal Lanier takes care of his counterpart, one down. Glenn Beckert the batter, and Beckert digs in. 6 going to be in play, and Beckert scorches that one between shortstop and third, a one-out single. He stops at first base. Heads back to the bag and salutes the crowd as sweet swinging Billy Williams comes up to a thunderous ovation. Williams 2 for 2, a double and a 2-run blast his last time up. And that's going to be patient, and Williams gets a hold of that, drives it into right field, but short of the warning track, it's going to die as Henderson makes the play. Back to first base goes Beckert. Ron Santo up, 2 down. Bolin breathes a sigh of relief, and 7's going to be in play, and Santo takes a cut, grounds that to first base. McCovey scoops it up. He's going to take it himself. So 3 unassisted. Cubbies get a hit, but can't do anything with that. We head to the 6th inning, and we're tied at 3. Hal Lanier set to lead it off for the G-Man against Fergie, and that's going to be an in-play result. 67, fly ball to center field. Qualls takes care of that, and 1 down. Bobby Bolin. Bolin, he is going to stay in and hit. Not yet to his point of fatigue. He's given up 3 runs, so Jenkins. And 7 is going to be in play, and for Bolin, that is going to be a ground ball down to Kessinger. So 2 quick outs for Fergie, and trying to get out of this inning without giving up a 2-out hit as Dave Marshall steps in. Left-hander waits for his pitch, and it is going to be tough. Big swing and a fly ball to center field, and that's going to force Qualls back, but plenty of room to make the play. So 3 up, 3 down, go the Giants in the 6th. We head to the bottom of the frame, 3-3, and Bobby Bolin looking to stay hot against Ernie Banks, and here comes a pitch. Ernie drives that into left field. Routine play out there for Marshall, 1 down. Randy Hundley. Hundley is 0 for 2, a ground out to third and a fly out to center. He's been a stellar part of this replay for Fergie with several home runs, some of them clutch and tough. Not going to happen here, though, as Bolin sneaks a curveball, just catches the outside corner, and Hundley, struck out looking, pounds the bat on the ground in disgust, heads back to the dugout. Umpire says, "You are rung up, sir," as Willie Smith steps up. Bolin patient, and 18 to Willie Smith, and he draws a base on balls. So that is the first walk issued by Bolin today as Jim Qualls steps up. Fergie on deck. Bolin wants to end this right here, though. And it is going to be ballpark, and 06, it's going to be wheelhouse again. He leaves it up. Qualls with a big rip, and 41, and cannot do anything with that. It's going to be a harmless pop fly, drifting back onto the right field grass. And under that is Mason, puts it away, and the side is retired. No hits, no runs, no errors, 1 left. And we are through 6, heading to the 7th inning, tied up at 3. Both pitchers have settled down incredibly since the 3rd inning when they each gave up a 2 spot. So Don Mason set to lead off for the Giants here. Fergie gets signed, kicks, delivers, and swing and a miss. Ring him up, Johnny. Mason goes down on strikes, and for Fergie, that is his 5th strikeout of the day. As Bobby Bonds steps up, Bonds struck out, been hit, grounded out to Kessinger. Here comes a pitch, and going to be tough, and Bobby grounds out to Kessinger again. Nice play by Don. Backhands it, whips it across the diamond. 2 down for Willie McCovey. Jenkins gets a sign, and that's going to be in play. And McCovey takes a big cut, and he drives that into the gap. And that's off the wall. It takes a bad bounce. McCovey lumbering around the bases. He's going to get all the way to third before the throw comes back in. So a 2-out triple for McCovey. And as he catches his breath, dugout asks him if he needs some O2. Big man says, I'm fine. Dig deep. Dick Dietz steps up. And he's going to try and give the Giants a lead here. That's going to be patient, and 88. Just missed. He goes all the way up to 82 on that. Instead, that will be a ground ball to Kessinger. And despite the 2-out thunder by McCovey, the Giants are left without a run as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. And time for that 7th inning stretch here at Wrigley. And Harry Carey is up, and he's 4 Budweisers in, leading the crowd in a drunken rendition of the old ball game. Saying, root, root, root for the Cubbies. Let me hear ya. So Fergie now leading off the bottom of the 7th frame. And that's going to be a wheelhouse. And that will be a wheelhouse result. Fergie, he can actually take this one deep. He's got a little pop, and 50. Can't do it, though. He did have a home run there instead of ground ball to third base. And Jenkins, 1-31 would have been a puffin stuff, but he is stymied by Bolin. Back to the top of the order, Kessinger, and Kessinger in play. Kessinger hits that down to second base, and up with that easily is Mason, 2 down. So both pitchers in a groove right now. 2 outs for Beckert. Here comes a pitch, and 2 wheelhouse. That's going to be in play, however. Beckert with a swing, and can't get a hold of that. Instead, a harmless ground ball to Hopper. And up with that is Hal Lanier. Whips it across the diamond, 3 up, 3 down, and we are through 7, still tied at 3. So early fireworks in this one. Things have settled down immensely since that. Possibly looking at extra innings now. And both bullpens start to stir as Fergie faces Henderson. That's going to be in play, and a result of 10. That's going to be a single. Henderson drives that back up the middle, and that is going to be his 3rd hit of the day, all singles. So Giants in business here in the 8th inning, and in the Cubbies bullpen. Regan and Abernathy are both toiling furiously to get loose. Fergie wants to finish this ballpark result, however, and 28, that is going to be wheelhouse Fuentes. Again, the right guy to leave it up on. He doesn't really have pop in his bat, and that dies short of the warning track like a floundering quail in left field, 1 down. Hal Lanier the batter now, and Fergie, a tough result, 37, and he summons some heat and blows it by Lanier. Strikeout, can't catch up with that, brings up the pitcher, and the Giants now, 2 down and a runner on first, and they are going to have to make a move here. So Bolin, his day will come to an end. He did not pitch that badly, honestly. He gave up, first 3 innings were rough. Gave up 5 hits in the first 3, only 2 since then. So 7 hits. And he has given up 3 runs. All of his runs were earned. And he has 3 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts, a walk, and gave up 1 home run. So his day will be done as the Giants will look for a pinch hitter. And warming up down in the bullpen, looks like Frank Lindsay will be the new Giants hurler when we resume. And pinch hitter against right-handers. The Giants kind of suck. Well, they do have this guy on the bench, and you can do worse than the Say Hey Kid here. So Willie Mac is going to be the pinch hitter with 2 outs for the Giants. And let's see if he can summon some of his glory from his younger days. Here comes a pitch from Fergie. Hall of Fame matchup here. Tough, 54, and Fergie. Oh, and Mays is going to fight that off and drive a single. And that is going to be a line drive into center field. Runner on first advances 1 base, so runners on first and second now. And a big hit for Willie Mays takes us back to the top of the order for the Giants. And Dave Marshall, 2 on and 2 outs. And let's see if he can be a late inning hero here. Fergie. Regan and Abernathy are ready to go, but we're going to give him a chance to get out of the inning. And 3, tough. He's going to do it. Fergie Jenkins, the clutch strikeout. 2 outs, 2 runners on, and Marshall is fanned. We are through 8. 2 hits for the Giants in that frame, no runs, and we head to the bottom of the stanza. Billy Williams up for the Cubbies to lead it off. And Fergie, probably going to be it for him as well. So here comes a pitch to Williams, and 7 from Lindsey is in play, 38, and that's going to be a ground ball right back to the pitcher. And Lindsey whips it over to McCovey, 1 down. Ron Santo, the batter. Lindsey has a sign, here he comes, and another in-play result, and Santo grounds that back to Lindsey again, so he's getting tested here. 2 hard shots back to him, no problem, 2 out. Ernie Banks, the batter. And another in-play result, and this one is going to go into the outfield. Bonds moves to his right, calls everyone off, takes it in, 3 up, 3 down for Lindsey, and so the Cubs are retired. We're heading to the top of the 9th, and we are still tied at 3. Fergie, they're going to leave him in the game. Again, if he has given up 3 runs, so he is still fresh. Let's see if he can gut this one out, and tucked it on Mason. He starts out strong, swing and a miss. Mason, back to the bench you go. Bobby Bonds, the batter. And 10 going to be in play. Bonds, ground ball down to Kessinger, so 2 quick outs for Fergie. He's going to get a chance to get a W if he can get McCovey here, and his team can come through in the bottom of the inning. And tough to McCovey, 78. And he gets out of the inning, a fly ball to center field. Qualls takes care of that. So Fergie pitching on guts right now. That's going to be it for him, however. So the Cubbies are going to have to get it done in the bottom of the 9th to give him a win. And the man to start it off against Lindsey will be Randy Hundley. Hundley has been a hero before. Let's see if he can do it again. 5 in play, not today. Fly ball to Bonds, 1 down. Could be heading for some free baseball here, folks. 10, tough, 70 to Willie Smith, and that is going to be a fly ball to Bonds again. 2 outs, Jim Qualls is the batter. And 5 is going to be in play, 26, and Qualls 2 out single. And if there was any slim hope of Fergie coming out to pitch the 10th, it has been extinguished. As 2 outs, we're going to have a pinch hitter, and Phil Regan will be the new Cubbies pitcher. So, going to the bench. Against right-hander, we are going to bring in Paul Popovich. So Fergie, a great job, 9 innings pitched in this one. He's not going to get the win or the loss. Well, he could get the win still, if Popovich can keep this going, or better yet, give us a walk-off hit of some type. Lindsey's got the sign. Here comes a pitch. Wheelhouse, 0-5, and that is a double. This could be it. Double into the gap. Are you kidding me? Comes up huge. Popovich, all runners score, walk-off. This game is over. Cubs win. The Cubbies win 4-3 on a walk-off pinch hit double by Paul Popovich, and Fergie Jenkins is going to get the win. Some late inning excitement there. 4-3 is your final score. A great ball game, tight throughout, and a good pitching matchup. But Fergie, pitching on fumes, got through the 9th inning, and he's going to get the complete game win. It's going to be his 18th of the replay to go to 18-6. Didn't have his best stuff, but he had enough of it today. So let's do the final tallies. For the Giants, they had 3 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Cubbies, they got 4 and 2 hits in that last inning. So 4 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. And 2 heroes today. Billy Williams with a game-tying 2-run blast back in the 3rd. And of course, Paul Popovich, a clutch 2-out walk-off double in the bottom of the 9th. And I think we've got to give player of the game to Popovich for that pinch hit magic. So there you go. Good to be back at it with Payoff pitch, and a great game to get back into the flow after being kind of dormant for a while during high school football season, where basically my life was work, coach, and sleep. And Sundays really was my only free day. And, you know, coaching football is a big sacrifice and a big strain on a family at the high school level and above. So Sunday was for my wife and family, so no gaming then. But we'll have time to get some games on, and like I said, I'll be back in a little bit with a new video update on Glory Days Boxing middleweight fighter set release. And I've kind of had a dead ball itch, so I ordered a new baseball game. There's not a lot of baseball games out there that have dead ball seasons, particularly the one I wanted, which was 1908. And I've kind of had my eye on this one for a long time. It's not APA. I don't think I will ever order APA. Not that anything is wrong with it, just not my cup of tea. This one really isn't in my general wheelhouse and what I look for in baseball games, but it's intriguing, and I actually did play a game earlier with it, and you know, muddled my way through, but found myself getting into a flow, and I actually enjoyed it. So we'll be back to reveal that new game that'll be coming to the channel in the future as well. So until then, thanks for watching. Good to be back. Until next time, keep rolling for the fences. This is Anthony with Bleacher Bums Gaming, and we'll see you.